Oatmeal. We all know it, right?
Yeah.
Lots of us eat it.
Yeah.
But how many of us are actually getting the most out of this, seemingly simple breakfast?
Hmm.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really going to dig into oatmeal. We're unpacking the common mistakes, things maybe you're doing that could be stopping you from having like a truly great bowl.
It's funny, isn't it? It gets all this praise as a superfood.
Totally.
And it is, the fiber, the nutrients good for your heart, weight management, blood sugar, all that stuff.
Right.
But then how we actually make it can kind of undermine those benefits. We've been looking at recent articles, stuff from the last year or so, 2024, 2025.
And pulling it all together.
Exactly, to find out what really makes a difference.
So our goal here, give you some real actionable tips, things you can actually use to, elevate your oatmeal game.
Move it from just breakfast
Yeah, maybe even boring breakfast.
to something awesome and, really good for you.
Okay, let's jump right in. Big one first, those little instant oatmeal packets.
Ah, yes. The convenience factor is, well, undeniable. Super quick, super easy. But you're often sacrificing quite a bit, a lot of those flavored ones. They are loaded with added sugar.
How much are we talking?
Well, some can have like 10, even 15 grams per packet. That's easily 2 or 3 teaspoons of sugar right there.
Wow. Before you've even added anything else.
Exactly. And you know what that means.
Yeah, the sugar rush, then the crash later leaves you kind of dragging.
Right. Which is why starting with plain oats roll, steel cut, whatever, is so much better. You get total control over the sweetness.
Okay, so that brings us to the oats themselves. It's not just instant versus others, is it?
No, not at all. There's a whole range. You've got instant, obviously, which are super processed. They cook in like a minute with hot water.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have rolled oats. People often call them old-fashioned oats. They're steamed, rolled flat. Take a bit longer, maybe 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
And then there are steel-cut oats. They're the least processed, basically just the oat groat chopped up. They look kind of like quinoa.
And they take the longest.
Yeah, they do. Usually 15 to 30 minutes. But they have this really great chewy texture.
So here's the thing, though. Nutritionally, are they actually that different, all this processing?
That's the interesting part. Despite the differences in processing, cooking time, texture, instant being smooth, steel cut being really hearty,
Yeah.
they all come from the whole oat. So the actual nutritional value, it's remarkably similar across the board.
Huh. So it really just comes down to texture preference and how much time you've got.
Pretty much. It's about what kind of eating experience you want and what fits your morning routine.
Okay. Speaking of time,
Mm-hmm.
what about oats that have been sitting in the cupboard for
Yeah.
ages? We've all found that container, right?
Oh, definitely. That forgotten canister in the back.
Is it okay to just use them?
Well, you should definitely check them first. Look for any obvious signs of trouble.
Like bugs?
Yeah, insects, any moisture, mold, weird discoloration. If you see any of that, just toss them. It's not worth getting sick or having a reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what if they look okay, but they're past the date?
Even then, the fats naturally present in oats can go stale or rancid over time. They might start to taste a bit off. Kind of sour or just stale.
Ah, so it affects the flavor.
Big time. Plain rolled oats, the processed kind, they can last quite a while, maybe up to 2 years if stored well. But, if you're unsure, best to err on the side of caution.
Good advice. Okay, fresh oats acquired. What's next? The liquid.
Yes. The liquid to oat ratio. This is super important for getting the consistency right. You don't want soup. You don't want cement.
Huh, right. Goldilocks zone.
Exactly. For the microwave, especially if you're using rolled oats, a 1-to-1 ratio usually works pretty well.
1 part liquid, 1 part oats.
Yep. Water, milk, whatever you're using. Zap it on high for maybe 90 seconds, give it a good stir, then maybe another minute until it looks right to you.
And stovetop. Different ratio.
Generally, yeah. More liquid, usually about 2 parts liquid to 1 part oats. You want to bring the liquid to a boil first, then add your oats, turn the heat down to a simmer, and let it bubble away for about 5 minutes, give or take, until the liquid's absorbed.
Getting that right must make a huge difference.
It really does. It's fundamental to the texture.
Now, about that liquid.
Yeah.
Water or milk, does it matter?
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're doing instant in the microwave, using milk, dairy, or plant-based definitely makes it creamier.
Okay.
But on the stovetop, if you cook oats only in milk from the start, sometimes they can get a bit sticky, almost like gluey.
Oh, right. Not ideal.
Not really. So a good approach for stovetop is often to start with water, bring the water to a boil, add the oats,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe stir in some milk towards the end of the cooking time. Or you could just start with half water, half milk.
And just adjust till you like the creaminess.
Exactly. And keep in mind, some plant milks can be thinner than dairy milk, so you might need to tweak the ratios a little bit. But yeah, milk definitely adds richness, body, and a bit more protein too.
Okay, so stovetop, microwave. Are there other ways to cook oats? Especially if you're making a big batch.
Oh, for sure. Rice cookers can actually work surprisingly well.
Really?
Yeah. For rolled oats, try the white rice setting. Takes about 20 minutes usually. If your cooker has a porridge setting, that's even better. And you could potentially do steel-cut oats in there too, though that'll take longer, maybe 30 minutes.
Interesting. What about like overnight cooking? Slow cookers?
Absolutely fantastic for that. Slow cookers or instant pots are great for a really hands-off approach.
How does that work?
For a slow cooker, a good starting point is maybe 1 cup of rolled oats to about 3 cups of water. Put it on low before you go to bed, maybe 6 to 8 hours. No stirring needed.
You wake up to cooked oatmeal.
Pretty much. Then you just stir in your milk, any sweetener, toppings, whatever you like. It's brilliant if you're feeding a few people.
That sounds dangerously convenient. Okay, here's something I saw mentioned. Toasting the oats before cooking.
Yes. This is a game changer, seriously. It works best with rolled or steel-cut oats, maybe not the instant ones.
Okay, how do you do it?
Just put them in a dry pan, no oil or anything over medium heat. Stir them around for maybe 5 minutes. You'll start to smell this lovely, nutty, toasted aroma.
Do they change color?
Not dramatically, no. It's more about the smell and that flavor development.
Flavor development. What's happening there?
It's the Maillard reaction kicking in. Same thing that makes toast taste toasty or gives seared meat its flavor.
Oh, okay.
It just brings out this warm, deep, almost savory note in the oats. It's a small step, but wow, the difference in flavor is huge. Like toasting nuts, you know?
Definitely trying that. Okay, next big topic. Sweetness. It's easy to go overboard, isn't it?
So easy.
Right.
Oatmeal just seems to invite sugar or syrup or honey,
Right.
but adding too much can kind of cancel out some of the health benefits, right? Best practice is usually to add sweeteners sparingly and do it after the oats are cooked. That way you can taste as you go.
And watch out for hidden sugars, too.
Definitely. Things like jam, dried fruits, chocolate chips, they all add up really fast.
So maybe add one sweet thing, taste it, then decide.
That's the smart way. And lean into things that add flavor without sugar, like fresh fruit, nuts, seeds. They add texture too, which is great.
Good point. And what about making it more filling? Protein.
Yes, super important. Oats have some protein, but adding more really helps with satiety, keeping you feeling full longer.
What are good protein additions?
Oh, loads of options. Nut butters are classic, creamy, and protein-packed. Whole nuts, chopped nuts, seeds like chia or flax. A dollop of Greek yogurt works really well too.
And savory options.
Yeah. Don't forget savory. A poached egg on top is amazing. Avocado slices, even smoked salmon, or a sprinkle of cheese if you're going that route.
Okay, cheese. Interesting. Now, something that seems tiny, salt. Do you really need salt in oatmeal?
You really do. Just a little pinch makes a surprisingly big difference.
How so?
It doesn't make it taste salty, not if you use just a pinch. It enhances the other flavors. It makes the oats taste more oaty, nuttier. It boosts the spices, makes the sweeteners pop. It just balances everything.
When should you add it?
If you're cooking on the stove, add a pinch of kosher salt right to the water before the oats go in.
Okay.
If you forget or you're using the microwave, stirring in a tiny bit of salted butter at the end works too. Plus, the butter adds extra creaminess and richness.
Double win.
Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned savory protein. Let's talk more about savory oatmeal itself. It sounds unusual to some people.
It might, but it's honestly fantastic. A really great alternative if you're not always in the mood for sweet breakfast.
Where do you even start with savory oatmeal?
Steel-cut oats are often a good base because they're heartier. Cook them simply, just in water with salt and maybe some black pepper.
Okay, then what?
Once they're cooked, stir in maybe a splash of cream or milk, some grated cheese, cheddar, Parmesan, whatever you like, maybe a bit of butter.
And toppings.
Think savory. A fried egg is amazing on top. Crumbled bacon, avocado, sautéed mushrooms, wilted spinach. Endless possibilities.
It sounds kind of like oat-based grits or congee.
Exactly. That's a perfect comparison. Savory green porridges are a thing all over the world. There are Nordic versions with sausage and beans, riffs on shrimp and grits. It's a really versatile base.
Definitely worth trying.
Yeah.
Okay, we've covered hot oats,
Yeah.
but what about cold? Overnight oats are huge now.
Yeah, and ruling those out would be a mistake. They're super convenient, obviously, because there's no cooking involved.
Right.
And they offer a totally different texture and flavor experience compared to hot oatmeal.
How do you make them? The basics.
Super simple. It's usually a 1-to-1 ratio of oats, rolled oats, work best to liquid. Milk, almond milk, yogurt, whatever you like. Put it in a jar or a container.
And add-ins.
Yep. Stir in things like chia seeds for sickness, maybe a little jam, nuts, seeds. You can add a touch of sweetener, honey, maple syrup. But again, go easy.
Then just fridge.
Exactly. Stick it in the fridge for at least 8 hours or overnight. In the morning, it's ready to go. You can top it with fresh fruit right before you eat it. Perfect for meal prep.
Sounds great for busy mornings. Now, switching gears.
Yeah.
What if you're out and need breakfast? Fast food oatmeal. Good idea or a bad idea?
Generally, approach with caution.
Oh, why is that? They seem healthy-ish?
They can look okay calorie-wise, but they're often packed with sugar. Take, like, the McDonald's fruit and maple one.
Yeah.
It's around 320 calories, which doesn't sound terrible, but it has something like 33 grams of sugar.
Whoa, that's a lot. Where does it all come from?
Dried fruit, the apples, the syrup, brown sugar. It all adds up incredibly fast, and the protein is usually pretty low.
So lots of sugar, not much staying power.
Pretty much. You get some fiber, which is good, but honestly, making it yourself at home gives you way more control over what's actually in it, especially the sugar and fat.
Okay, makes sense. So maybe the biggest mistake is just not eating oatmeal at all.
Huh. You could definitely argue that. Skipping it means you miss out on something that's delicious, really filling, and incredibly good for you.
The health benefits are real. Right.
Absolutely. The World Health Organization recommends more whole grains like oats. The American Heart Association loves it for the fiber, the cholesterol-lowering effects. That's backed by tons of research.
And it's packed with nutrients, too.
For sure. Just 1 cup gives you a good chunk of fiber, like 4 grams, plus vitamin B1, loads of manganese. It's proper nourishment.
Okay, let's circle back to those instant packets for a sec. We know the sugar issue, but is that the only reason to maybe branch out?
Well, beyond the sugar, relying only on instant really limits your experience, you know?
Yeah.
Texture-wise, flavor-wise, you miss out. And you miss the fun of playing with different toppings and combinations. It's just less interesting.
So if someone's stuck in that instant rut but still wants convenience?
Overnight oats are a perfect next step. So easy.
Right.
Or try baked oatmeal. That's another great make-ahead option.
Baked oatmeal, how does that work?
You basically mix oats, liquid, maybe some eggs for binding, baking powder, flavorings, then bake it in a dish. You can even bake it in muffin tins for individual portions.
Oh, like little oatmeal muffins. Grab and go.
Exactly. Really handy.
Okay, we talked about milk versus water, but it seems like there's still debate there. Any final word?
Honestly, it's mostly personal preference. Some top chefs, like Jamie Oliver, often lean towards water for stovetop cooking, mainly to avoid burning or sticking.
Yeah.
Then maybe add milk at the end.
Okay.
Others, like Chef Nate Weir, really push for using milk, half water right from the start for that richer, creamier result.
So, experiment.
Definitely. Try different things, see what you like best. People even use things like juice or tea sometimes.
Pineapple juice oatmeal.
Yeah.
Interesting. And the liquid amount, too. Seems flexible.
Totally flexible. The standard is often 2-to-1 liquid to oats, but some like it thicker, some like it runnier. Scottish porridge, for instance, sometimes uses a 3-to-1 ratio.
So follow the package maybe the first time.
Good starting point. Then just adjust next time. Remember, it's much easier to thin out oatmeal that's too thick.
Than to thicken up runny oatmeal.
Exactly. Adding more liquid is easy. Taking it away is not so easy.
Okay, steel-cut oats, we know they take longer. Any specific pitfalls to avoid with them?
Yeah, because they're less processed, you can't just treat them like rolled oats. Trying to cook them too quickly is a common mistake.
So patience is key.
No.
Or planning ahead.
Yes. Soaking them overnight helps a lot. Cuts down the morning cook time. Slow cookers, as we said, are brilliant for steel cut. Pressure cookers can work too for a faster method, but follow specific recipes for that.
Got it. And salt. We mentioned it, but it seems so important it bears repeating.
It really does. It's foundational. Think about salmon nosrats, salt, fat, acid, heat. Salt, added during cooking, integrates so much better.
Right, it's not just sprinkled on top.
No, it becomes part of the flavor profile. Pretty much every chef agrees. Add that pinch of salt early on. It makes a huge difference.
Okay, now the messy mistake. Boilovers, ugh. How to avoid that disaster.
Ah, the dreaded oatmeal volcano. It happens. For stovetop, use a bigger pot than you think you need. Give it room to bubble. Stirring frequently helps break up bubbles. And maybe avoid starting with milk, as that can sometimes make it more prone to boiling over.
And in the microwave.
Again, bigger bowl. And stop it partway through to give it a stir. Some sources say adding fat helps, but you'd need quite a bit of butter, which isn't ideal. Lowering the microwave power level can also help prevent it from getting too vigorous.
Good tips.
Hmm.
Okay, assuming we don't have a boil over, we have perfectly cooked oats. Eating them plain. Is that wrong?
Well, some porridge purists might say it's a bit of a missed opportunity.
Like at that competition in Scotland. The golden
Well,
spoober.
exactly. You look at the specialty porridge category there. Plain is definitely not the vibe.
What kind of toppings win awards?
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Classic stuff like nuts, berries, chocolate, of course, but also wild things. Mexican mole sauce, whiskey, pineapple, savory mushrooms, spinach, even gooseberries.
Wow. Mole oatmeal.
See? Oatmeal's blandness is its strength. It's a canvas. Sweet, savory, crunchy, anything goes.
Yeah.
Past winners have done pecan, maple, pina colada, caramel, sweet and sour.
So basically, don't be afraid to top your oatmeal.
Please don't. Add something. Anything. There's no wrong answer. A bit of crunch is always nice, too.
And again on savory.
Yeah, it's really okay.
Absolutely. Think beyond breakfast cereal. As chefs point out, savory grain porridges are traditional worldwide grits, congee.
Right.
You can do quick versions with instant oats, even maybe some soy sauce or ponzu, chili oil toasted seaweed, or go heartier with sausage, kale, parmesan, a fried egg. So many ways to do it.
Okay, last big point. Are we only using oats for porridge?
Hopefully not. That would be limiting such a versatile ingredient.
What else?
Oatmeal bars, cookies, obviously. Baked oatmeal, like we talked about. Layering oats into yogurt parfaits, making granola. You can even use ground oats to thicken soup sometimes. And don't forget, oats are naturally gluten-free if processed carefully, so they're great for gluten-free baking too. So wrapping this all up, mastering oatmeal isn't about some secret, complicated technique.
Not at all. It's really about understanding the basics, the types of oats, the liquid ratios, the cooking methods, and just being aware of these common little slip-ups.
Yeah, like the sugar in instant.
Yeah.
Forgetting salt, not exploring toppings.
Exactly. Once you nail those fundamentals, it's such a fantastic, versatile food. Nutritious, filling, and like we said, a blank canvas.
What's amazing is how much you can actually tweak it, right? Something so simple, but you can really customize it.
Totally. Different oats, different liquids, toasting them, adding protein, going sweet, going savory. You have so much control over the final bowl.
So, the final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
Get experimenting. Don't just stick to the same old routine. Try a different type of oat. Maybe toast them first, play with the liquids.
Try savory if you haven't. Add some unexpected toppings.
Yeah. With all these possibilities out there, what's the next thing you're going to try? What unexpected combo or technique might unlock your perfect bowl of oatmeal?